Some bunnies with a bazooka dump.
Way downtown. Bang! Bang!
Mama, there goes that man.
Welcome to A Tribe Called Switch. This your boy B More being solo dolo. Sorry I left you. Been out for about a week and a half, something like that. So coming to solo dolo for Monday. Had a very eventful weekend music wise. So since the NBA has ended, we're in summer league. We're going to transfer to a little bit of some sports, some music, culture, and things like that. But for this short spot, I'm going to focus on the weekend that was. The Clipse released their first album in 15 years, Let God Sort Them Out. There's been breakdowns of lyrics and things like that, and I'm not here to do all that. What I am here for is just to kind of give you my feelings on the album as a whole, and kind of what this rollout or what the Clipse did during their interviews and what that meant to me personally as a fan, and how I hope that this is kind of the new era of how rappers are moving from now. Let God Sort Them Out, entirely produced by Pharrell Williams, entirely recorded in his Louis Vuitton studio in Paris, overlooking the Seine River, as they've been described. All productions a la carte. They all cooked it up together. It wasn't any mailing lyrics and beats back and forth. They were in Paris. That's how this album was constructed over the last year and a half. It features Kendrick Lamar with John Legend, Nas, Stove God Cooks. We've got Stevie Wonder. Lenny Kravitz played guitar on the song. Ab live with the return of the Philadelphia Giant. It was just a real feel-good project. And I think what really struck me about this project is how they describe their process. See, I've always been a person who planted my flag on Pusha T as a solo rapper has never been one to just rap endlessly about coke. Like he's never been that guy. I would say post the first mixtape on Good, Fear God 2 or Fear God 1 technically, I guess. He's never been like 100% coke, right? It's always been a build up to lifestyle. He is closer to a Rick Ross type rapper when you look at their subject matter. It's about lifestyle, high end stuff. That's what he's not on the side of a Lox, a Jadakiss, which you would be like is more street level, day to day hustling type music. That's never been what him as a rapper has been. And Malice, formerly No Malice, he's always been the conscience of the group. So when you have Pusha T with no conscience, you have lots of raps where he loves being the villain. You have lots of music where he watches the Joker all day and then creates music. But with Malice brings a conscience. And I think that's something that even fans of Pusha T have been missing, because it's really been all like, I'm the villain, not a lot of remorse, and this is what I've done. What I will say about Push is that how he does this changed once he got married and once he had a son. You can tell the tone and the tenor of how he addresses certain subjects are different. Now, don't get him wrong. Don't get him wrong. If he's pushed, yes, but no pun intended. But how he described things, like it's different now. And if you compare pre-marriage to post-marriage Push, his music is different. But that's something for people who actually listen to music and who kind of pay attention to these things. So, Let God Sort Them Out finds a mature Push and a Malice still being that older brother, still being that angel on his shoulder. And I think that's the dynamic that's been so amazing to listen to hear throughout the album. I'm not going to do a song-by-song breakdown, but what I will do is give you some of my highlights, give you probably one thing that's not one of my favorite things, but in this case, I'm the only one on this plank, and my overall thoughts of the album. So it begins with Birds Don't Sing. And this is where I want to re-implore that this is a more mature Clipse and specifically a more mature Push, because we wouldn't have gotten this type of song from Push a few years ago, even if these events happened a few years ago. I don't think he was ready yet. Just them being able to tell the story of their last conversation with their parents was moving. Like, anyone who's lost a parent understands exactly what they're saying. Push raps, You was checking boxes, I was checking my mentions. I've been there when my mom is when I'm on the phone with my mom and she's talking to me about something that's important to her, and I'm also multitasking on the phone doing something else. So it's just while we have them here, try to be more attentive, be more patient, present company included, and understand that these moments aren't there forever. Then it moves to Chains and Whips, which again, people have been talking about this song for over a year now. Especially once he found out that the Kendrick Lamar feature was on that song. This song is great. Like, I have no complaints about this song. I think Push would have stole the show, except Kendrick went absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that this was done either in the middle of the beef between him and Drake last year or at the end of the beef is just wild when we think of that timeline. So Push first verse obviously goes at Jim Jones. Jim Jones been talking crazy for over a year now. Again, this song is a year old. Jim Jones been talking crazy over a year now. He talked about Push in his ranking in the top 50 MCs. He talked about Nas, how Nas isn't quote unquote lit. He's 50, he's still using lit in casual conversation. I think that's crazy. This song is just shows you just high level rapping and artists who care about the craft. There wasn't any bars just like laying out there. There was no bars left behind. For people who don't, who didn't grow up just kind of listening and rewinding and want to hear what the rappers are trying to say, this might be a new exercise for you. I think, and as rap fans, we go overboard and trying to find things where they aren't things there. What we saw during the whole Kendrick Drake beef, but there are intricacies in how people rap, and there are meanings to what they say. Words mean things, and these three rappers on this song, all the words meant something. Great song. POV, amazing. During the press run, Push said he didn't like this because he didn't feel like he hit the guru flow the way he wanted to, which is something I didn't pick up at first until he said it. I was like, oh, okay, I see it. I mean, for me as a fan, it does not take away anything from it. I mean, we've heard him do Mace, we've heard him do Big. He did Big on Ace Trumpets. So we know what Push can do when he's channeling other rappers, and that's perfectly fine. It doesn't have to be perfect, but we just need to know as a listener where it's coming from. This was a great song. Malice, of course, again shines, but Tyler with his anti-trick verse is something that the rap game needs. So I think POV is definitely one of the standouts. Always going to be on repeat. One of probably my favorite songs that I feel like hasn't gotten discussed enough is All Things Considered. Again, this goes back to, this is adult rap. These are adults rapping this and rapping about things they go through. Yes, there's a lot of braggadocio. Yes, there's a lot of stunting. Yes, there's a lot of whatever you want to call it. Yes, there's some drug talk or whatever. There's also things that them as adults are going through that 21, 22-year-old rappers can't. They don't even understand. Push raps. Nige asked for siblings. V miscarried. We hit it. I'm glad he missed it. 100,000. A maybe. You stick with it. Pre-order the stroller. As adults, you know exactly what that meant. They were trying to have another child. His wife miscarried. So they tried again through IVF. IVF is expensive. If you're lucky as an adult, your insurance covers some of it. If you're lucky, it's like $30,000 a pop, just for a chance. That's what you mean. The $100,000 for a baby. So you spend the money, you stick with it, and then something happens. You miscarry. It doesn't take. Push rap in this is something that people who have been through this, who understand that, that's not easy to go through. As a man, as a couple, anything. And so, like, I have friends who went through IVF and they had a disappointment, and then they went through it and they got the second time around, second, third rounds, they were lucky and they got their child. But again, if you're 22, 23, that means nothing to you. You don't have any friends who are going through that. But if you're in your 40s, like who their target audience are, that means everything, because you're going to know somebody like that. And so when people say Push is shallow, or he doesn't rap about, real things, or he's always coke and things like that, that's how I know that you don't listen to him. He did it with Snitch. He did it with FIBA. He did it with the song singing with Joe Scott on the second album. He's done this throughout his career. Did it with Freedom on the last Clipse album. He has these moments of transparency, but people are like, oh, all he raps about is coke. So it's so weird. Rap fans they claim they love the music, but you have to question if they're not actually listening to it. For me, all things considered, one of my favorite songs, I think one of the best songs in the album that I don't think enough people are talking about. And it could be, again, because people don't get it and they're not listening or understanding what these rappers are trying to say. Inglourious Bastards, the clue drops. Chef Kiss. And the return of Ab Liva. Look, I look forward to Ab Liva's verse. I think we have to kind of give Ab Liva credit, man. Outside of Gilly, and that's only because of a podcast, nobody cares about whatever happened to the rest of Major Figures. And so he has stood the test of time. And every time he raps, he sounds great. Like, I haven't heard a bad Ab Liva cameo on any Clipse album. He always sounds good when they bring him out. So I'm always happy to see it. And the beat was great. It's just that vintage feel, that almost that 300, let's take over the world feel. Those three are just, the chemistry is always great with those three. So Far Ahead, another gem. Like we've gotten two modern Negro spirituals this year. We got Old 55 from West Side Gun, and now we got So Far Ahead. So two modern Negro spirituals that, man, crazy. Malice steals this, and that trying to hide the dope in the message, like we did the coke in the Lexus. Like, this is rap. This is high level rap, and this is what we don't get a lot. Malice, again, I didn't sleep on Malice. I didn't have limited. I know what Malice can do, but the fact of that, him getting back into this lane and being this sharp is just something that even I could not have predicted. Those are like my highlights of the album. Overall, it's too early to call it a classic, so I'm not even going to go that route. Is it album of the year? Right now, I think it is. Before this, I had Life is Beautiful, Larry June and 2 Chainz. That was my album of the year before this. I think this surpasses this, and it's mainly because this album gives you more. It gives you more into the artist, and that's what I look for. I want to see more into the people who I'm listening to. Even if the tales aren't 100% factual, but just let me know, what are you going through in your life? Because look, at this point in 2 Chainz and in the Clipse career, I know your past, I know your history, I know how you got here. So now, besides the highlights, besides the highlight film of new cars, new clothes, what else is happening? And we got that from the Clipse. We didn't get that. We didn't get a lot of that from 2 Chainz. We got a little bit of it, but not a lot of introspection from 2 Chainz. And again, that's not something I really go to 2 Chainz for, but I think that's where I'm going to lean to the Clipse on this one. So as of in July, this is currently album of the year. We have a long year ahead of us, so anything can change. This is a great album. It completely met my expectations. I don't think it exceeded it, and that's only because I had such high expectations for this. Any doubt about Pharrell being a solo producer, I think that's eliminated. I think any doubt of, can these 48 and 52-year-olds rap as good or have a sound that's relevant with current music, I think that's done. This album doesn't have any filler on it. The only song, which I don't really care for as much, Mike Tyson, Blow to the Face. I know I'm probably the only one on that, on that side. I think it's cool. I think people love this song a lot, and I'm just like, it's cool. So I know I'm by myself on that one. Small disappointment. Stove God Cooks, only on the FICO hook. I wish he was there more. So just those two minor things, but Stove God on the hook. The hook was perfect for him. That hook is a Stove God hook, and we still got a Stove God Clipse connection, and I hope there's more in the future. This was a great album. Listen, the rollout for this, just before I get out here, the rollout for this was great. The merch, I've got some merch coming soon from some vinyl and some of the t-shirts. All of that was great. They hit everything. They hit the right spots in the media. I love the fact that they stayed away from the streamers. I love that. I love the fact they've got Justin Bieber fans mad that people are like loving the Clipse. I love all of that. Like that's good. That's what's supposed to happen. The adults are supposed to like, hey, kids, shut up. We're speaking now. You can have your Bieber. You can have your Jack Boys too. That's great, but the adults are speaking now, and the adults are going to do what we do. We're going to listen to the music we like. And I think the Clipse gave us exactly what we needed. So I recommend listen to this, get the album, watch the interviews. It's been a great rollout. If you missed the merch, you missed a lot of that stuff is sold out. So with that said, I'm B More for Tribe Called Swish. Like, subscribe, share the video. Please, we're getting a lot of views on our shorts, good amount of views on our long form content. So we want to get some more of that. So please like, subscribe, share all the good stuff, and I will see you later this week. Peace.